Good day, everyone. Good day, future LPTs. Now, let's challenge your mind in this Let's Review, focusing on literary criticism. By the way, Sir Ken, okay, for your question number one. In literary analysis, which part of Freud's psyche operates on the pleasure principle and drives a character's immediate gratification? It is A, ego, B, id, C, persona, or D, superego. Alright, future LPTs, I'll give you 10 seconds to choose the correct answer for this question. Yes, the answer is letter B, id. And why? To correctly answer this question, Freud has the structural model of the psyche, which includes the id, ego, and superego. Remember? So id, it is our inner child. It wants things right away, like food, fun, comfort, without thinking about rules or consequences, which it contrasts with the essence of superego. So the superego is like our inner voice of thinking what is the right and what is the wrong. It follows the rules we've learned from parents and also in the society, helping us to make good and to have a moral choices. Moreover, the ego acts as the realistic mediator between the id and the external world, or also between the id and the superego, which functioning on the reality principle to satisfy the id's desire in socially acceptable ways. So in this question, the answer is B, id, because it is a part of Freud's psyche which operates and focuses on the pleasure principle and drives a character's immediate gratification. So, in the other hand, the persona is totally wrong because it is a Jungian concept, not a Freudian, which it refers to the social mask we wear. Okay, the answer is B, id. Next question. Okay, according to Freud's psychoanalytic theory, which family conflict explains a character's unconscious desire for the opposite sex parent? It is A, sibling rivalry, B, castration anxiety, C, Oedipal conflict, or D, penis envy. Alright, future LPTs, I'll give you another 10 seconds to choose the correct answer. Okay, the answer is Oedipal conflict. Why? So in Freud's psychoanalysis, it explains child's unconscious romantic desire for the opposite sex parent. So that is why letter C is correct. On the other hand, why the others is incorrect because letter D, penis envy, is a concept Freud associated with girls during the phallic stage, where a girl feels deprived of a penis. And for the letter A, sibling rivalry, in the word sibling rivalry, it refers to the competition or jealousy between siblings and not unconscious desire for a parent. And lastly, the castration anxiety. It is a consequence or component of the Oedipus complex in boys and not the overall family conflict itself. Which means it is the fear that the father will punish the boy for his feelings toward the mother. So overall, the answer is C because it focuses on the unconscious desire of a child that has for the opposite sex parent, along with the rivalry toward the same sex parent as well. So the other options are related, yes, it's related and related concepts, but do not describe this specific family conflict. Next, whose theories about language as a system of signs became the foundation for structuralist approaches in literary criticism? It is A, Sigmund Freud, B, Ferdinand de Saussure, C, Northrop Frye, or D, Claude Lévi-Strauss. Alright, future LPTs, I'll give you 10 seconds again to choose the best and the correct answer for this. Okay, time's up. The answer is letter B, Ferdinand de Saussure. And why? Okay, Saussure introduced the idea that language is a structured system composed of signs. So each sign consisting of a signifier, which is the sound, image, or word, and a signified, the concept it represents. So structuralist critics apply this model to literature and analyzing how texts generate meaning through patterns and binary oppositions. So, on the other hand, why the other is incorrect? Because letter A, Sigmund Freud, he is known for psychoanalytic theory. Remember? Focusing on the unconscious mind, not on language or structuralism. And Northrop Frye is known for archetypal criticism, but did not develop the theory of language as a system of science. While Levi-Strauss, it adapted Saussure's idea to anthropology and not in literature. So overall, the correct answer is letter B, Ferdinand de Saussure, because he is recognized as the foundational figure whose theories about language as a system of science. So remember, a system of science in language, it is Ferdinand de Saussure, okay? Which approach introduced defamiliarization, showing how literary language makes the familiar seem strange. Familiar seems strange. Okay, letter A, new criticism, B, structuralism, C, Russian formalism, or D, formalism. Alright, future LPTs, I'll give you 10 seconds to choose the correct answer for this question. Alright? Okay, time's up. The correct answer for this question is C, Russian formalism. And why? So, Russian formalism emphasizes how literary devices and structures distinguish literature from ordinary language. Also, one of its key concepts is defamiliarization or ostraineni, which refers to the process by which literature makes familiar objects, experience, or ideas appear new or strange. Or from the familiar objects we see, they were going to make it strange. Okay, so on the other hand, the other choices are wrong because letter D, formalism, is a broader term. But to be specific, Russian formalism specifically developed defamiliarization. So formalism is the broad term, while Russian formalism is more focused on defamiliarization. And letter A, new criticism, focuses on close reading and the unity of text, but does not specifically focus on defamiliarization as a technique. And for the last one, B, structuralism, which is concerned with deep structures and systems, not perceptual disruption. So overall, the correct answer is C, Russian formalism, which introduced the familiarization, showing how literary language makes the familiar seem strange. So the correct answer for this question is Russian formalism. Okay, next question, question number 5. Which approach developed by Derrida, which reveals contradictions in a text and shows that meaning is always deferred? It is A, structuralism, B, defamiliarization, C, deconstructive, and D, reader response criticism. Alright, future LPTs, I'll give you another 10 seconds to choose the correct and the best answer for this question. Okay, time's up. The correct answer is letter C, deconstructive. And why? So deconstructive is, or deconstructive criticism is introduced by Jacques Derrida, which focuses on the instability of meaning in text. So it challenges the idea of fixed or singular meaning by showing that meaning is always deferred and that text contained multiple or often different conflicting interpretation. So on the other hand, so the other choices are incorrect because, as we know, reader response criticism, it only focuses on reader's role in creating meaning, which emphasizing subjective interpretation rather than revealing textual contradiction or deferral of meaning. And it is not developed by Derrida. And as well as the structuralism, which focuses on the underlying structures and binary opposition, and it assumes stable system, right? That's why Derrida reacted in that kind of structuralism, because he believes that meaning is always deferred and unstable. Unlike to the structuralism, it assumes that the system is stable. Okay, for the last one, we have defamiliarization, or letter B, defamiliarization. Okay, what is the meaning of defamiliarization? It refers to the process by which literature makes familiar objects, experiences, or ideas appear new or strange. And that kind of concept is not developed by Derrida. So overall, the best answer for this and the answer for this question is C, deconstructive, because the question focuses on what Derrida developed, and Derrida developed the constructive criticism or deconstructive. Okay, for the question number 6, which Marxist concept explains how institutions like schools and media shape belief through ideology and that force. It is A. Historical materialism, B. Base and superstructure, C. Ideological state apparatus, or D. Repressive state apparatus. Again, I'll give you 10 seconds to choose the correct answer for this. Okay, time's up. The answer for this question is letter C, ideological state apparatus, or ISA. And why? So, ideological state apparatus, or ISA, was developed by Marxist theory Louis Althusser. It explains how institutions like schools, media, families, and churches shape individuals' belief and maintain social order primarily through ideology rather than direct force or coercion. So, on the other hand, the other choices are incorrect because, as we know, repressive state apparatus, from the word itself, repressive, it is the opposite of a defined meaning in the question and the opposite of ideology, which focuses on the use of physical force or repression. It could be military, courts, and police. So, the other choices, moreover, the historical materialism, in the letter A, it refers to Marx's view of history shaped by economic forces and not institution. Lastly, the base and structure, which describe how the economic base influence cultural and political superstructures, but but don't explain ideological reproduction in depth. So overall, letter C, because ideological state apparatus is explain how institutions such as school and media maintain social control by shaping beliefs through ideology rather than force. So from the word ideological state apparatus, ideology, it, it, uh, it, it is the correct answer for this question because it has the meaning of the question, which is the ideological state apparatus. Okay, we have question number 7 for this question, which critical approach primarily focuses on how literature represents and challenges the experiences, identities, and power dynamics of women. A. Feminism, B. Race theory, C. New historicism, or D. Postcolonialism. Alright, again, future LPTs, I'll give you 10 seconds to choose the correct answer for this. Okay, time's up. The correct answer for this question is letter A, feminism. And why? So, as we know, feminism is the critical approach that primarily focuses on how literature represents and challenges the experience, identities, and power dynamics of women, or also the gender as well. So, why are the other choices are incorrect? So, although the essence of feminism often intersects with other critical duties, its specificity defines others as incorrect. Okay, for example, B, race theory focuses primarily on race and ethnicity and racial identity rather than gender and women's experiences specifically. Also, New Historicism explores the historical and cultural context of a text but doesn't focus solely on gender or on women. So lastly, letter D, postcolonialism, which analyzes the impact of colonialism and imperialism on literature. So overall, if it directly confronts gender-based or a woman or power structure in literary texts, then to be specific, it is feminism. Okay, that's the essence of feminism. So the correct answer for this question is feminism. Alright, for the question number 8, which literary criticism theory asserts that each generation reads a text differently due to changing cultural and social values? It is A. Reader response criticism, B. Postcolonial criticism, C. Reception theory, or D. New historicism. So alright, again, future LPTs, I'll give you 10 seconds to choose what is the best or correct answer for this question. Okay, time's up, future LPTs. The correct answer is letter C, reception theory. And why? So reception theory, as we know, it is developed notably by Hans Robert Jauss in the late 1960s, which defines that a literary text meaning is not fixed but changes as each generation of readers bring different cultural and social values to their interpretation. And it suggests that a text has no fixed meaning. Instead, its significance is constantly redefined by new readers and societal shifts. So the others are incorrect because letter D, new historicism, it focuses or examines literature in its historical and cultural context, but does not primarily focus on how different generations reinterpret text over time. And for A, letter A, with the response criticism, it focuses on individual readers' experience, not in generational shifts. Lastly, we have letter B, post-colonial criticism, which focuses on the effects of colonialism and power relations in literature, and not on generational changes in interpretation. So overall, the answer for this question is letter C, which is reception theory, because it is suitable as it defines the historical shifts in reader interpretation over time. So the answer for this question is letter C, reception theory. Alright, future educators, future LPTs. So we have these last two questions. Now, let's going to focus in the question number 9. So which literary critic is best known for developing the concept of the mirror stage? It is A, Jacques Lacan, B, Michel Foucault, C, Roland Barthes, or D, Northrop Frye. Okay, again, I'll give you 10 seconds to think what is the best answer for this one. Alright, time's up. The correct answer for this is A, Jacques Lacan. So, why do you think the answer is letter A? So because Lacan is the one who introduced the mirror stage to explain identity formation in psychoanalytic theory. So the other choices are incorrect because B, or letter B, Michel Foucault focused on discourse and power structures, and letter C, Roland Barthes contributed and worked on semiotics and structuralism, and also the death of the author. And lastly, Northrop Frye, he is known for archetypal criticism and myth criticism, which unrelated to Lacan's psychoanalytic mirror stage. Overall, the correct answer is A, Jacques Lacan, as he is the one who developed the mirror stage, and the mirror stage is the one who been developed by Jacques Lacan. So the answer is letter A. Okay, for the question number 10, which of the following provides abstract frameworks for understanding literature rather than directly analyzing or categorizing specific works? It is A, literary movements, B, literary criticism, C, literary theory, or D, literary devices. Alright, for the last one, future LPTs, I'll give you 10 seconds to choose the best answer for this one. Okay, time's up. The correct answer for this question is letter C, literary theory. And why? Literary theory provides abstract conceptual tools for interpreting text, or it is a framework. For example, it includes Marxism, feminism, structuralism, post-colonialism, and more. So the other choices are incorrect because letter D, literary devices, as we know, it is the techniques used within text, such as metaphors, irony, just like that. And letter A, literary movements are historical or stylistic groupings of writers and works such as Romanticism, Modernicism, Realism, just like that, which is not a framework. It is the historical or stylistic movement, okay? On the other hand, literary criticism is the practice of analyzing specific text. The practice of analyzing specific text, often applying these theories such as the structuralism, formalism, just like that. So overall, if we analyze the question, it is asking about abstract framework for understanding. So the answer is letter C, literary theory, which provides the abstract frameworks and philosophical foundation for understanding literature, which different from literary criticism, because we know literary criticism, it is the way we analyze says specific works, and the question need a concept that has provides an abstract framework, and it defines by literary theory. So that's all for today for the literary criticism. By the way, I'm Sir Ken Patricio, and That's it.